Good morning to all. We are so lucky to have Miss Jacqueline Gutierrez with us on the show Know Your Star Athlete. She is a cheerleader in the Philippines with sparkling careers in high school and college. Graduated at Miriam College High School and De La Salle University. Cheerleading for 4 years, competed at 10 competitions, one representing the Philippines in Florida, USA, where Team Pilipinas All Girls Elite took home bronze for the first time in history. Today we will interview her. Please welcome Jackie Gutierrez. Jackie, welcome to the show. Our listeners are so keen to hear you.
Hi, thank you for having me, Naomi.
How did you pick up cheerleading as one of your career?
Well, back in high school, just like in your school, we had to do auditions. We had to do auditions for our clubs, right? So, um, I was supposed to audition for our dance company, but then I missed the audition for one day. So, me wanting to dance, I accidentally just went with cheerleading. I didn't know anything about cheerleading, but since I realized there's a component of dancing in cheerleading, I tried it out. And apparently, they liked the way I moved. So, from then on, the rest was history. I started cheerleading without knowing anything. I can't do a cartwheel, and I ended up loving the sport until I improved myself. So, there.
Who has been your role model that influenced you to the world of cheerleading?
Mm, not, I really don't have anyone, but back then, cheerleading was not as popular as it is now. Before, cheerleading wasn't even seen as a sport as many, like, unlike today, the ones we see now. We appreciate the sport because it's really hard. Before, I just fell in love with the sport, and I think my role models were my coaches because I saw how great they were at their craft. So I looked up to them and I wanted to be excellent for myself and for the sport as well.
With your career right now, what's next to Jacqueline Gutierrez?
Well, right now I'm no longer doing cheerleading because for the 5 years of cheerleading that I've had, I actually injured myself. I had a major injury in my knee. I tore my ACL. That's a ligament in your knee. So I had an operation. So that was when I stopped my career. But it was okay because I was able to join one last time in representing the Philippines, and we took home the bronze medal because it was our first time. It was the first time the Philippines were joining that competition in USA, Florida. It was a big competition all over the world. We were against Mexico, Puerto, different countries. And we took home the bronze, which was really a big deal because it was our first time in joining that competition. So with that said, I really didn't mind ending my career before I entered college because of first my injury, and then second I was going to focus more on my studies. But nonetheless, it was okay because after my cheerleading career, I've still continued to be an advocate for a healthy lifestyle and for um, having a healthy sports life. So I still go to the gym, I still lift weights, I still eat healthy.
Do you have any regrets?
No, I loved what I did. I've loved my journey. If I weren't an athlete before, I won't be the Jackie or Ate Jackie that you know now. Being an athlete really gave me discipline and gave me the grit that I needed to be as a person right now.
And finally, what advice can you give to future athletes or cheerleaders?
For future athletes, I would want to say, in order for you to be great at your craft, you have to be focused. You have to dedicate and commit everything that you've got into that sport that you love, because any distractions can make you fall out of love. You can't do many things at the same time. So if you put your heart and soul into that one thing and for that sport that you really love, you would be good at it. Because me, I entered cheerleading knowing nothing about it. And then I loved it as time went by, and I was able to be great at it. And to mention, in my high school, Miriam College High School, I was the first one to be accepted in history in Team Pilipinas. So with that, I started from nothing and ended up with being the representative of my high school for Team Pilipinas. And I worked my I worked very hard so that I could be great at what I do. So I think the message here is that athletes or aspiring athletes should put their 110% in whatever they're doing, and they should put their love and heart into it and everything that they've got. That's all.
Thanks a lot for joining the show, Miss Jacqueline Gutierrez.
Okay, thank you too, Yumi.